Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Derek Muhammad, and you are in the digital building. Tonight, we're going to have a good time tonight, but we also going to get some wisdom. We're going to dialogue, and we're going to talk about what's going on. I named the title of the show, 2020, the year of exposure. God damn. Make sure you please share, hit like, share this Facebook post. We're going live. In the meantime, in between time, when you step out of here, go to my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share, press that like button, and share what we're talking about tonight. Look, it's hot and heavy. 2020. Now, the first part of my show, we're going to talk about what's going on in Wisconsin. But I got a special guest coming on at 9:30. Journalist Doshon Farad. And we're going to talk about what's going on with 2020, what's happening on the political front, what's happening socially, what's happening in the entertainment world, what's going on right now. Because we got to talk about the right now. Not now, but right now. So make sure you, on your Facebook, share, send people, invite people to tell them come on in. We're going to have a good time. I want to show y'all what I saw happen the other night in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk about the chief of police response. Now, this is graphic. So if you got little kids in the room, get them out of there. Because I didn't even want to see this. Get your nightmares, man. But you know what's so crazy? They've been killing us in HD TV for a long time. I mean, they've been murdering us for a long time. And you see it and you get numb. I mean, where they choked out Eric Gardner for selling cigarettes, how they killed Tamir Rice in 11 seconds. Didn't even pull up and use the walkie-talkie and say, hey, put that gun down, boy, and back away. They could have gave him that common courtesy. It wasn't even a real gun. But they pulled up and immediately shot a little boy and got away with it on purpose. Every state in the union have killed us and got away with it on purpose. The woman that shot the man sitting in his own apartment in his drawers eating ice cream, watching TV. They might even let her out early. I forget the white cop lady name because she was just a monster. But the privilege that they gave her in the courtroom by the black bailiff combing her hair. They ain't never combed my hair when I was in court. Nor would I want them to. The judge gave her a hug after they sentenced her to jail. They ain't never gave me a hug, nor would I want them to. But the kindness that they gave this murderer, and you in jail or in court for minor offenses like unpaid parking tickets, running a red light, driving while drunk. You ain't hurt nobody. You might be in jail for child support. You ain't hurt nobody. You just ain't paid. You in Charles Dickens jail, debtor's jail. But this woman killed somebody, lied, was a police officer, and they was gonna let her go. But they sentenced her, but she's on her way out. So my point is this: how much more can a nigga take? How much more? We are so compassionate when it comes to our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? We give them a pass. We forgive them. The dude forgave the white boy who shot up everybody in the church without even, the bodies wasn't even cold. He wasn't even in custody. And he felt, I forgive him. The man ain't even asked for forgiveness and you forgave him. How foolish are we? You ain't even forgave your girlfriend for cheating on you. You ain't forgave your father for not getting you that skateboard for Christmas. Your mama for not paying your tuition. but you forgave somebody for killing your own relative, a white person, but you don't forgive black people. No, we don't. And they got this thing now. Look, brothers, you got to get guns. Everybody need to get a gun. Man up, get a gun. But first off, if you're going to get a gun, make sure you know how to use it and who you going to use it on. Because niggas and guns don't really mix. I'm going to say that again. Because when niggas got guns, niggas shoot niggas. And they shoot them unmercifully. We are so cruel when it comes to shooting people. We only think about shooting ourselves. The rap lyrics prove it. Every rapper talked about killing a nigga. You ain't heard one cracker get killed in a rap song. You ain't heard one white man get killed in a... I mean, Ice-T, he had a song like Cop Killer, and then George Bush came out and told him, I condemn you, and I asked, he ain't singing that song no more than he on Law and Order. How? The irony of that, playing a cop. Woo. Oh my God. But killing niggas, get a pass all day. Oh, turning women into bitches and hoes, you get a pass all day. Now, if you made a song about turning white women into bitches and hoes, I wonder would them Jewish people allow that to happen that run the record industry. If you had a song like, I'm going to take some Jewish pussy and I'm make all hoes. You know what I mean? Just turning it out. I'm just saying, I'm putting it on the other foot. You think that record would be played? But no, they encourage you to disrespect your woman, your children, your people. Shoot a nigga, pimp a hoe, smack a hoe, do some drugs, sell some drugs, get shot, do the shooting. Oh man, God, what a fucking minstrel show is this? Where are all the conscious people at? They talk about the woke people, all the woke people. We need to be conscious. You woke up, but that don't mean you conscious. You still delirious and shit. We need some conscious, some black consciousness, man. Huh? Michelle Carey Davis, salute, queen. I gotta kick the facts because, I made a post on my Facebook some time ago about Cardi B and her song, and Cardi B ain't running from none. She ain't got no church. She said she was a stripper who robbed niggas. She said she had to fuck and suck to make it. I get it, Cardi. I'm not holding you at a high level. No, but you're rich now, Cardi. You ain't got to strip no more. You ain't got to hoe no more. You ain't got to drug a nigga no more. So why don't you leave that bullshit in the past and talk about something that elevates your mind? You know what I mean? Tell a girl to work hard. Even if you got to strip, work hard, have a dream, become a nurse, become a school teacher. I don't know, become a mayor. Hell, first lady. You know what I'm saying? But to still reduce your shit deck down to my grandbabies and my children, other people's children, about wet ass pussy, Cardi? Come on. I had educated women saying, Derek, leave Cardi alone. She's just expressing herself. You didn't say that when Luke Skywalker and Too Short and all the rest of those foul-mouthed rappers was exploiting our women. You didn't say a word, Derek Muhammad. And I say, you might be right. Then again, you might be wrong. But again, you might be right. But then again, you might be wrong. But what I am going to say in conjunction to what the woman said to me, I said, yeah, might have listened to it or two. I like Too Short. But I had to go digging for Too Short. Too Short didn't come on after T.D. Jakes and Joe Osteen went off the air. Matter of fact, I don't even think they played a Too Short song on the radio. You know what I mean? And Luke Skywalker came on after hours, BT Uncut. So there was a place for it. It was censorship. You know what I'm saying? But right now, Cardi, with the WAP, her and Megan, that's in prime time. And how convenient was it? Right after Beyonce dropped that beautiful Black is King, they ain't even talking about Black is King no more. They talking about wet ass pussy. Damn, Cardi, you done fucked the culture up with your wet ass pussy. But it ain't your fault, Cardi. It's the record industry. Liar Cohen and Iveen and the rest of those rotten motherfuckers. I don't know. I'm just saying, and I'm talking about culture vultures. I ain't even talking about the brothers, because brothers ain't running shit in the record industry. You know what I mean? They yes sir men. I'm talking about the people behind you. You know, that go to eat lox and bagels and send their kids to private school. Got trust funds and vacation in Saint Tropez. I don't even know where Saint Tropez is, but I like to go there. They vacation, they got yachts, they got trust funds. You know, they culture vultures. They hijack your culture, cut it up, step on it, sell it back to you, and you wondering why we all fucking crazy. We all consumer. We would sell our soul for a Gucci shirt. We'll kill somebody for a Rolex. Put it on, blood and all. Act like you got a $20,000 Rolex and you living in the projects. Huh? Priorities just all fucked up. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you something right now. If you don't have no food in the house, you're going to be looking really stupid with your Balenciagas. Huh? I'm going to have some food. I'll go to Whole Foods. I'll go to Trader Joe's. I'll go to Kroger's, Sam's, Costco. Well, if they ain't got no more food, why don't you get you some land? Huh? Why don't you grow you some tomatoes? I had a show last night. On my show tonight, talk about growing food in your garden. Even if it was a 2-bedroom apartment, you can grow food. But no, our priorities is fucked up. Our priorities is about flossing, impressing people who really don't give a fuck, who really don't care, and will rob and kill you to impress them, to make you feel better. And I get it. I understand. We just crazy, deranged, crazy, and insane. But they're killing us in the street on purpose. Man, I'm going to show y'all something. Now, I'm going to show y'all this tape of how white privilege get it done. Right? White privilege. This is the videotape of the young white boy who killed 3 people. He killed 2 people and wounded 1. Shot the dude in the arm with the AR-15. Shot the dude in the arm and they had to amputate his arm. Police chief said, if they had obeyed the rules of protesting, that might have not had happened. Now this is what the police chief said. He didn't say if my cop would have exercised better judgment and not shot the black man in the back, they wouldn't even have had the protest. He didn't say that. He said if they would have not been out past curfew, it wouldn't have happened. How devilish of that for you, police chief? Oh, you just told in yourself, huh? White, racist, police chief. And there's a whole bunch of them. And I'm tired of people saying, man, there's some good cops. You good cops ain't shit. I'm going to tell you right now, you good cops ain't shit. Because y'all allow the bad cops to get away with it. Y'all don't tell, but you want the niggas in the street to tell. You don't tell on them good cops. No bad cops. You know what I mean? Them good cops don't tell on them bad cops. So y'all all lumped in it together. Man, it's horrible. Horrible. I'm going to read a quote before I show y'all this video. It says, judging a demonstration by the most violent participants, but not judging a police force by its most violent cops is the language of the oppressor. Should I read that again? Let me say it loud so the people in the back can hear me. Judging a demonstration by its most violent participants, but not judging the police force by its most violent cops is the language of the oppressor. The oppressor don't give a fuck. They don't care. They have no fucks to give, man. Here's another quote. Trayvon Martin was killed at 17, and the Americans said it was justified because he was wearing a hoodie as a valid threat. Wearing a hoodie, 17, got killed, it was justified, right? Kyle Rittenhouse, that's the white boy that shot those people the other night, 17 years old. Killed 2 protesters in cold blood. And the people said, he's too young to be held accountable. Oh, man. You see the double standard in America. But that, you know what, America? Y'all need to take the Constitution. Is that the Constitution? Yeah, we the people, created equal, all men created. That's some bullshit. Y'all already wiped your ass with it already. So y'all might as well just burn it and just say, you know what? We America, if you white, you right. If you black, get back. And fuck it. Now what you gonna do? I can work with you like that. You know what I mean? Now I can assess the situation. That's why I hate politicians. They lie. Vote for me so we can get Trump out of office. Vote for me. Y'all gonna be stuck with Trump. Trump ain't no different than the rest of them motherfuckers that's been in office. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? Huh? Can I get an amen? Somebody hit amen and let me know if I'm right or am I wrong. Trump. I ain't scared of no fucking Trump or nobody goddamn else. I tell you what they should be scared of, though. They should be scared of karma. Not the stripper karma. Karma, the universal language of whatever you put out, you ain't coming back to you. Whatever you put out is coming back to you. Whatever you read is what you sow. Whatever you sow is what you reap. Whatever you sow is what you reap. What comes around goes around. What goes around is comes around. What goes around, come around. You sow. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. I'm trying to get it all together. Man, this is so disheartening. I'm going to play this video for y'all. Make sure y'all share this. Hit like. All right. This is so crazy. Then I'm going to talk about the NBA after this. And then I should be ready for my guest coming on the air. All right. Make sure. I want y'all to see this now. This is something else. This is something else. And it's graphic. So if you squeamish, turn away. We turn it up for you. Now this is the white dude who killed someone already. There's a skateboarder comes up behind him and hits him because he had already shot somebody. So he tackles the dude. So now he got an AK. He shoots the one guy. He shoots this guy. And he shoot another dude. He shot the guy in the arm who runs off. He killed the dude on the floor. Now he's on the ground. Now he's walking. Now the police, you hear gunfire. He's not shooting. He's just backing up so you following him. 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, murderer, satanic murderer, right? Now look at this. He's walking towards the police. You see the police? They don't ask him what he's doing because he white and he got a rifle. If you white and got a rifle, you can do what the fuck you want in America. But if you black with a rifle, you gonna get your ass shot the fuck up. Okay, so he's running down here, tired, adrenaline flowing, got his hands in the air. Say, hey, look at me. Now that dude saying he just shot him. He looking around. He just shot someone. Look at this. Look at this white privilege in full effect. Now this ain't no TV show. This real life, baby. He just shot somebody. He's yelling. He got his hands up. Hands up. The police let him go. They wave at him. Say, good job, boy. You need a water. Hey, straight ahead, someone hit? He said, yeah. And he just walks past the police. Look, he's a murderer. Now he talked to the cops and tell them, and it closes out. He talks to the police, tell them what he just did, and they gave this motherfucker a pass. What are we talking about? Now, let me just say this. From that video right then and there, that just showed to me that you black folks thinking you can get a gun and protest and what'd you say? Take advantage of your Second Amendment rights? Nigga, please. Let you have been out there with that gun after all that fire. They'd have lit your black ass up. They wouldn't have asked 2 questions. The man broke up a fight with women. Nothing in his hand. Broad daylight. 3 cops. 3 punk ass devils. Cops. Trained police. They don't even try to detain them physically. Shoot them in the back 8 motherfucking times on purpose in front of his children and get away with it. Now, they said he's paralyzed. He lived. God bless him. He lived. He's paralyzed from the waist down. Just report on the street is the Ghetto Gazette just told me that he's handcuffed to the hospital bed. Let me say it louder for the people in the back to hear me. They said the man who got shot 8 times in his back by the police officer, the black man, Jacob Blake, right now in the hospital, who's paralyzed, that did nothing but be a citizen, breaking up a fight with 2 crazy black women, fighting like that goddamn reality show. He out there barbecuing with his children. I don't give a fuck if they was his women and fight. But he break up the fight. Police don't even come in and ask what's going on. Keep their hand. Ain't no weapon. Ain't no threat. They harassing him. He gets into the car and they shoot him. Brother, shoot the man in his fucking back on purpose. In broad motherfucking daylight in front of his 3 children. He's alive, yes, luckily. Yeah. Paralyzed from the waist down. We got to send prayers to heal him so he'll be able to walk one day soon. Shot him 7 times. Okay, 7 times. In front of his children. Now he's in the hospital handcuffed to the goddamn hospital bed. How devilish is that? When I say white people are the devil, they're not all white people are the devil. Stop that. There's some black devils too. Ain't you right? But it ain't for me to call them a devil. It's for them to prove to me that they're not. I know this strong talk for some of y'all. Some of y'all might say, Derek, just pray about it. Motherfucker, we've been praying for a long motherfucking time. Now it's time to get up off our knees and plan some action. Pray so you can have strength to build up your own community. Because we can't live with them no more. We can't even live with each other. That's why I told these people, yeah, okay, all right, so you got a gun. You gonna join the militia, black militia. I get it, have that. NFAC, right? Black militia. Leader said you gotta have a gun. You ain't got a gun, you crazy. First of all, nigga, you gotta remove the nigga mindset from the nigga because the nigga mindset is to train on autopilot to kill niggas. So as soon as they get a gun and they get pissed off, they pull in a gun, and you know what happens in all over the country. They kill niggas. White boy right there, when he killed those 2 white people and shot the 3rd one, he thought they was black. He didn't know, because in his mind, he was going to protect white people from the evil atrocities of protesters in a city he don't even live in. They said his mama drove him to Wisconsin and then drove him home. He went to sleep in his bed that night. Now, the 2 dudes that died did not. Shot 1 in the head, 1 in the chest. Shot 1 in the arm with that AR-15. They had to amputate the man's arm. And they were out there protesting because the police had shot an innocent black man. So the chief of police in Kenosha, Wisconsin, he's a devil too, and you can tell him I said so. He's a devil, his mama's devil, his granddaddy a devil. He come from a long lines of goddamn devils. And when he died, may he and the rest of his devil clan burn in hell. He got time to repent, but he got a whole lot of repenting to do. Daniel McInnes, chief of police, Kenosha, Wisconsin. He said if the protesters had not been out there, the violence wouldn't have happened. He didn't say if my dumbass police officer had not withdrew his weapon and shot that man 7 times in the back in front of his kids, we wouldn't even have no goddamn protest in the first place. No. And then now the spin is this poor innocent white boy, this murderer, he's confused. He's 17. Y'all can't hold him accountable. He didn't know what he was doing. Forgive him. Forgive this poor unworthy soul. He know not what he do. He's innocent. Just look at him. Ain't he kind? Did you see the picture of him and his fat mama look like a dude? I ain't gonna talk about it. Yeah, I am. His fat mom that looked like a dude. Oh, he has emotional issues. He been beaten up by his daddy. I know why. His daddy didn't do a good job either. And that's cold, ain't it? Huh? But if his daddy would have laid more discipline, and well, who knows? I mean, damn, devils breed devils. So I don't know what the fuck going on in the house, and nor do I give a fuck. Okay? All I know, he went out there to kill some niggas, to stop some protesting. The police deputized him, and he went out there, got beat up, shot one dude, ran down the street. The other guy with the skateboard was trying to detain him. He killed him, and he shot another dude in the arm. And then he ran down the street with his hands up. I just shot somebody. And people say he just shot someone. And the police said, good job, boy. Want to go to Burger King? Huh? I take you to Burger King when I get off. Maybe Waffle House. Huh? They open 24 hours. Huh? And he went on home that night. Slept good, too. With blood on his hands. Then conveniently, they arrest him the next day. Now they trying not to charge him as a dog. Oh, man. This is America, though. This is America, man. Huh? Land of the free and home of the murderer. Huh? They'll still just black off your skin, baby. Sell it on the stock market. This is America. So, now you telling me I should vote. Vote for Biden. Biden want to put more police on the street. Hell, you say? Biden want to put more police on the street. Did I hear you right? He said he want to train more police on the street. He's pro-police. Did you ever know that Biden had the gun bill, the crime bill, threw more niggas in jail? Ain't niggas still in jail from that crime bill. Gave more time for crack cocaine than powder cocaine. Because he probably liked powder cocaine. Crack cocaine go to niggas, and it's cheap. And if you had crack rock, you was going to jail, whether you smoked it or not. Because it was the law. Him and Clinton. Yeah. Trump, he ain't shit either. Okay, he ain't shit either. I'm going to say that too. I ain't vote for no. I'm sitting this one out. There, a no vote is a vote for Trump. The hell you say? You got to be worried about Trump, man. We got to get him out of there. Then we'll worry about it, man. The hell you say? Who said? Joe ain't offering me shit. Joe, what you going to do for us black folks, man, Joe? Huh? I need you to start holding these police accountable, Joe. You want my vote? I'll give you some money. I'll vote for Joe. Call me up and say, you know what, Derek? I'm going to start cracking down on these police killings, man. Start holding the police to a high standard. Make sure they don't just kill you niggas. I mean, you African Americans. Make sure that they reason with you, man, like a human being. You know, Derek, that's what I'm doing. When Joe and Camilla tell me that, I'm all in, baby. But don't be fucking trying to scare me. You don't vote for me, you ain't black. Fuck you. I'm used to racists. All the presidents been racist. All the presidents been racist. So, what we gonna do, man? Now, I want y'all to make sure y'all share this Facebook post because I'm having Doshon Farad come on here shortly. And we're gonna talk and go further with this tonight's topic. The year of exposure. Because we have to expose who the real devil is. I ain't saying all white people is bad. I can't say that. It's like saying every black dude in Atlanta is gay. I can't say that. No. Refuse to say that because it's not true. But it's for them to show me that you're not. We need the good white people to take, and there was some good white people out there protesting. They protesting Black Lives Matter. They protesting police injustice. Salute to them, and I root for them. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for it. I ain't protesting shit because I don't believe these motherfuckers gonna give you a goddamn thing. So I ain't asking them for nothing. I'm just trying to sound the alarm for you all. Because if Biden get in, hold him accountable. And he gonna do right by you. If Trump get in, what you gonna do for another 4 years? We got a plan, man. God ain't never sent no politician to solve our problem. He don't help people until they help themselves. So what we gonna do? What we gotta do? We gotta have some kind of economic boycott. Which lead me to my next point. NBA walked off, postponed games because of this killing in Wisconsin, the shooting in Wisconsin, and all the other bullshit that's going down. And I applaud the players for not going forward with a couple games. Word on the street is that they plan on resuming again. Word on the street is Michael Jordan stepped into the boycott negotiations as a go-between for the players and the owners. This is word on the street. Ghetto Gazette, the nigga news. And it said, headline, Jordan is the only owner equipped to serve as an intermediary between both sides. This is Michael Jordan. First of all, you're damn right he's the only owner because he's the only black dude that owns a basketball team in the NBA. So why even say that shit like that meant something? Now, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. It's up for debate, but okay. I say he is 6-time champion. He ain't great as Bill Russell, got 11 championships, but in modern time, Michael Jordan is the shit, right? Made billionaire, owned a basketball team, got the Jordan brand, won championships, but I ain't never seen Michael Jordan really step out on a social issue. You know what I mean? Now, he said he was going to donate $100 million, Michael Jordan. He said his brand, Jordan brand, will donate $100 million to racial justice over the next decade, starting in July. Racial justice. I don't know what the fuck that means, though. I don't know what fucking racial justice means. The fuck that mean? Who giving out the justice? What? Who? I mean, racial justice. What the fuck that mean to me? Huh? We gonna give racial justice $100 million. Who the fuck is racial justice? Sound like a chick I know that was in college back in the day. Rachel Justice. She must have been kidding David Justice. I don't know what the fuck racial justice is. That's a fancy word I'm giving it to some white folks so they can decide what the hell they gonna do. That's what I think it is. So they gonna play again. But I'm gonna applaud the minor gesture because shit is coming. Shit is happening. Shit has to happen. Matter of fact, my guest just arrived. Before I bring him on the air, let me give out his bio, his brief bio. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna even read it because I'm gonna let him say it. And I'm gonna welcome him to the Derek Muhammad Show. Good friend of mine, major journalist out of New York City, based with LaSar Media and has worked with Boyce Watkins and others. And we're gonna bring him to the air. Welcome to the show, my man, Doshon Farad. Salam alaikum, my brother. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam. Hotep. Yes. Hotep, can you hear me?
Hotep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
alaikum salam. Hotep. Yeah.
I want you to introduce yourself. But before so, all the people, please share on your Facebook this Derek Muhammad Show. Make sure when you go out, we got the journalist, my favorite journalist, Doshon Farad, conscious Hotep, brother. How are you, brother?
Fine. Hotep wa alaikum salam. I'm doing wonderful. I'm phenomenal.
Yes, sir. So let me ask you, brother. I just was on here ranting and raving. I titled the show tonight, 2020 Year of Exposure. And this shit is being exposed. So what's your take on what you understand what's going on in Wisconsin and how it correlate to, the sports world with the NBA walking off? What's your assessment?
Well, family, what we are witnessing is what Dr. Francis Cress Wilson referred to as the fear of genetic annihilation. For those who may not be familiar with this concept, Dr. Wilson, being a psychiatrist, she had tackled racism and white supremacy from a psychiatric perspective, from a physician perspective. And she argues that the reason why white people collectively have acted in aggression towards non-whites, black people in particular, is because they fear being annihilated genetically. In other words, they're surrounded by all these dark people that they know, subconsciously, they know can wipe them out gene-wise in terms of population growth, that it causes them to act out very hostile. And we've seen this theory not just being proposed by Dr. Wilson, we've heard this being proposed by white scholars such as Michael Bradley. Let me go back first. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson had wrote an essay dealing with the colors, but also she wrote a book called The ISIS Papers. She wrote this book in the 70s dealing with racism and white supremacy, but other people after her have also built upon her work or did their own work regarding white supremacy. After her, you had Michael Bradley, who wrote the book The Iceman Inheritance, discussing the Western origins, the origins of Western racism. These two books are still in print. So right now, what you see an increase in the killings of black people, black men in particular, although black women such as Breonna Taylor and others can't be forgotten. We see a particular interest being aimed at black men. And as Dr. Wilson argues, it's because of the fact that within our testicles, white people in positions of power and even many average whites subconsciously fear us, black men in particular, taking them out genetically. So this is what this is about, brother. We live in a white supremacist society, anti-black white supremacist society. We have been dealing with this specifically over the past 500 years. Some say longer, but specifically since 1492, since the age of expiration, in terms of its concentrated form. And this is the United States of America. I stated when President Barack Obama was in office, you have to ask yourself the question, why is it that under his first term, under his tenure in office, all 8 years, the killings of black people, black men in particular, by law enforcement or by white vigilantes increased, and not at all blaming President Obama. When President Obama was first elected, I said from the very beginning, at the time when he was elected, I was 31 years old in 2008. And I said at that time, President Obama's role is not to be a racial messiah to black people. I said that he is not going to reform a system that was set in place in America for well over 400 years. So I say that to say that white supremacy is ingrained within the society of America, within the world, as you can see, because there's not one place on this planet where Europeans have not wreaked havoc, or where white supremacy has not touched. We see this in all throughout Africa. Right now, you have a lot of black people panicking over a Trump presidency. Okay, we have to understand something about Donald Trump. Michael Eric Dyson had referred to Donald Trump as the fulfillment of white supremacy. I've always said that President Obama brought out the racists, or he reintroduced the racists of the white supremacists. But President Donald Trump has emboldened the white supremacists. We're looking at the type of racism that our grandparents witnessed. You see, a lot of us think or thought because we had good jobs and had white husbands and white girlfriends, white boyfriends, etc., or lived in white neighborhoods. And then under Obama, we thought because we had a black president, that everything was okay. Okay, so now you see the racism, as Minister Farrakhan has said many times to black people. You don't know the racism the way that your grandparents knew. We've gotten very comfortable. Okay,
Yeah.
so I say that to say, brother, these police killings, brother, we've been dealing with this for several centuries now. This is
Right.
nothing new. It's just that now we have cell phone cameras, we have the internet. This has been taking place. Read the book 100 Years of Lynching. Study Ida B. Wells,
Right.
Ida B. Wells. They just did a mural of her in D.C. in Union Station. She was on the anti-lynching campaign, dealing with the
Right.
very issue that we as black journalists or black media people are dealing with now.
Right. Man, what I find to be so fascinating is some of the clergy in the black community have died. And my theory is George W. Bush, the second one, he gave out grant money back when his last term to a lot of these mega churches. And what he did when he gave out the grant money so they can build these beautiful churches, mega churches holding 15, 20, 30, just big churches. And it was a grant. But in that grant, you can preach Jesus. Hell, you might even be able to color him black. But do not speak politics or social. And have some limited economic improvement too, because we got to keep y'all tied to our titty. I want to ask you, is my assessment on that correct in your opinion?
Yes, brother, in many instances, but you can't leave out the Islamic community or the Jewish community as well, the black Islamic community or the black, we would say, when you say black clergy, that, that's Christians, Hebrews, or Jews, and Muslims as well, because you have some bought off imams, okay? You have some bought off rabbis or bought off Hebrew ministers as well, brother. But I would say you're correct for the most part. We've seen for quite some time the co-opting of the religious houses of worship. Okay, and as Michael Everett Dyson said, oftentimes prophets or religious people or religious clergy make kings or politicians very nervous because they have the ear of the people. They're teaching morality. Oftentimes you'll find that many ministers and many pastors and many clergy, such as reverends, rabbis, ministers, imams, they will take the lead role as being the voice of reason, the voice of morality, if you would. And so those who are not bought and paid for, say like a minister Louis Farrakhan, oftentimes will be seen as quite annoying or a threat to the powers that be. Just as Jesus was. If you believe that Jesus existed or Moses existed, the Prophet Muhammad, but specifically look at how Moses was treated by Pharaoh. Look at how Jesus was treated by the Roman government. If you believe in the crucifixion of Jesus, that was a political assassination, and most black leaders in America in particular have followed the biblical path of Jesus. And many people have theorized, many black religious people have theorized, Minister Louis Farrakhan included, that is actually symbolic of what controversial black people experience for speaking out against racism and oppression. So many preachers are afraid to go that route. And when I say preachers, once again, we're not just talking about Christians. We're talking about whether it be Jewish, Hebrew, Islamic imams, ministers, or even within the African spiritual community as well, brother. We have some of the priests and priestesses that are within the African spirituality circle.
Yes. So because I'm a conspiracy theorist. I ain't gonna front. I love, because my whole thing is, I know if they want to keep a secret, you put it in the book, right? They want to keep a secret, they put it in the book. So I read a lot of books, and one thing I have to give credit to is the white man writes his history. He writes all the most diabolical shit he done, the most treacherous shit he done, the way he thinks, his social homicidal maniac mind, and he don't get he does not
remember. But remember, let me just interject, and I'll let you finish, Brother Derek. We're talking about Dr. Frances Cress Wilson. The first time that I read the theory of white genetic annihilation, it wasn't from Dr. Wilson. It was by some white sociologist my freshman year in college when I was 19 in 1996. And let me retract that. I already knew about the theory of white genetic annihilation. but I'm reading a book one day. It was a class I had called Ethnic Minority Relations, and this book was forgot the name of the book. I could find it. I'll know it when I see it. It was discussing, and of course you can read Iceman Inheritance as I mentioned. It was meant to say the same thing she said, that white people collectively are so, they're, oh my God, they're, there's some. So my point is, Dr. Wilson was drawing off of the writings of many white scholars, as was Dr. John Henry Clark. When he would speak about the making of the European, he was going by white scholars. When Malcolm was in prison, and when Elijah Muhammad told him the white man is the devil, remember what he said. Remember what his brother said. He was reading stuff that was written by white historians.
Mm.
And that's what his brother had said. His brother was like, he said that, when someone said at that time, especially in the 50s, where black people definitely were going through what we're going through now, he said, it wasn't hard to accept the concept of the white man being the devil. He said, and you're using the white man's history to corroborate it, history that he wrote with his own hands. You can see, but go ahead, I'll let you finish.
Yes, so with all of that being said, they have the COINTELPRO, right?
Yes.
J. Edgar Hoover, COINTELPRO. Now, that bastard is dead, and may he burn in hell forever, him and his mama. But his legacy still lives on, right? His program is still in effect. And his main concern was the rise of a black messiah, right?
Yes.
So they infiltrated, they did it with Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Nation of Islam, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Black Panther.
Paul Robeson, Medgar Evers.
They destroyed Paul Robeson.
The Panthers. And the first black target of J. Edgar Hoover was Marcus Garvey, whose birthday we celebrated over last week.
Shout out to Marcus Garvey. So my point is now, since they co-opted the church, they co-opted all these organizations, right? The Masjid, the NAACP. I'm gonna just throw that out there because they're funded by people that don't look like us. So you can have a social movement, but not an economic movement. That I don't understand. But okay, whatever. Have at it. So now they're so sophisticated, and this is me thinking. They will create, just like they did ISIS, they will create an enemy and control that enemy, and then give that enemy finances, resources, and the charismatic power to attract people to them so they can control that movement and also initiate their assault on an organization. And I'm saying that right now because we're in the crust of now with all these movements popping up out of nowhere. And in particular, the one I'm mentioning is the NFAC. Now, when I first saw the NFAC, I was like, man, it's just interesting. I myself wouldn't want to be around nobody I don't know with no guns. Because the first thing I know, black folks kill black folks. So I don't feel comfortable with that. But okay, have at it. Just however they want to do it. But I've seen this argument going on in the community that they're calling that the head of the NFAC, since he ran for president, they got some, they discredit his past. My point, I'm questioning to you, what is your thoughts on that organization and the argument going on that he may be working for them people? What's your thoughts?
Well, my concern is, dear brother, and someone over a week ago had made a good concern, had raised a good point, that anytime you get on video saying that governments like Russia and Iran, governments that might be considered by many within the United States government as being enemies of this government, the United States government, and no one does anything to you, that's a little suspect. Okay. That right there concerns me, but we have to be very careful not to unfairly label anyone, because within the black conscious circles, the name agent is thrown around all too much. Okay.
Oh, they throw that around like.
Right. We have to be very careful, dear brother. But this is where your observation comes in, research methods. You have to employ research methods. This is where your qualitative uh, research comes in. When you start you are looking up articles, you start making phone calls, you get sources like that, library, old newspaper clips like that. You have to be careful who you call an agent. But I think that I'm the jury is still out. So
Right.
many of our colleagues, if you would, have reservations about Jay.
Yeah.
Okay, they
Yeah.
have they've
I don't
raised
want
good
to like
points.
throw it out there. I am suspect because I watch, like, for example, you
Right?
threaten to
He has
shoot,
the
you threaten to go to war, like you said with the Iran, and them people, Homeland Security is real.
right.
They
That's
real.
what I'm saying. You don't
They'll
say
come
stuff. My
see
thing, brother. You don't say stuff unless, brother. My thing is unless you have that can endanger your movement. I'm not going to sit up here and say on a national broadcast, "Yeah, I got ISIS with me," or something. Or he
right,
didn't say ISIS. He said Iran and Russia or other.
right.
Pakistan, I believe. Well, Pakistan's not an enemy of the U.S., but you get my point. He was mentioning
Yeah,
countries that are considered enemies of the state.
national
So
security threat.
right. So why would that's my concern. When you do stuff like that, brother, you are either, I hate to say this, well, actually, no, I don't hate to say this, okay? You can either be called the agent or just retarded. There has to be something not right with you.
Yeah, something like off. Right, some
Right,
crazy.
man.
Even
And we
even
have that, and like I said, brother, oftentimes within our community, because of everything that we've been through, we're always searching for saviors and messiahs, black people. So we
right.
might end up getting behind someone who we think is very real and very sincere. Oh, they're very bold. And then they end up having you do some crazy stuff. Let's go bomb a bank. Let's go bomb the White House.
Right,
That type of stuff. You
right.
know, uh, we just have to be quite mindful. Like I said, some of the things he does is questionable. And if Jam Master Jay was here, I would actually ask him, brother, are you neurologically impaired? Are you, as they
Yeah,
say, mentally disabled or mental illness? Are you are you referred to as what they used to refer to as, retarded? Are you autistic? Because
yes.
there's certain, that's my point.
Right, right. Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. So brother said he want to have a Q&A. If you got a question, bro, put it in the chat box and I'll ask him. Now, one lady, Suzette Pinson, she said, yes, King, no vote, righteous over corporate corruption. Righteous over corruption. Then we plan our movement, a national black movement. Next 4 years, the politicians will come and ask what we want. I agree. Like right now, if you don't have an agenda, this the whole part. This the whole thing. If we're economically independent as we should be as a people. $1 trillion go through our hands, and we don't own nothing. No
Mhm.
land, no economic structure, no nothing collectively as a unity, as a unit, as a community, like the Jewish or the Asians or even now the Hispanics. We are silly to depend on someone who treat us horribly with no justice, no intention of equality, no intention of reparations, no intention of just doing right by us. We are just foolish,
Yes.
foolish. What do you think that, in your opinion, what are some of the moves that the black community has to take? Not now, but right now.
Well, brother, what were we doing before you mentioned the counterintelligence program? What were we doing before we were ravaged or before the Black Liberation Movement was ravaged or destroyed by the counterintelligence program, by the US government? Keep in mind, Brother Derek, we no longer have a movement, the African American community. When we were hit, the height of the counterintelligence program was in the 1960s, a period of time that Dr. Maulana Karenga refers to as the golden age of African Americans. This was the time that we were reassessing ourselves in the world culturally. We were changing our names. We were forming mass movements. We were seeking relations with our sisters and brothers in the Caribbean, in Africa, in Europe, South America, Canada, across the world. It was Pan-Africanism at its finest, if you would, regardless of which side of the spectrum you came from, whether you were integrationist, separatist. So we don't have that anymore, but for the most part, okay? What we have to do is to do what we did during segregation. And the problem that frustrates me, whenever you tell black folks that we ought to become economically independent, you get looked at even in professional black settings, educated professional black settings, which I've covered for quite some time, as if though you are alien and sometimes crazy. Or what do you? Oh my God! What do you mean? Black? What do you mean be independent? Oh my God! You sound a little bit like Louis Farrakhan. You have black folks that say that say stuff like that, and I'm like, wait a minute. What does Minister Farrakhan have to do with being economic? Like that's a bad thing. We were practicing economics. We were practicing economic independence before the Nation of Islam. That's not just that this whole, when we talk about the concept of nationalism, land ownership, that is not a Nation of Islam concept. And even if it was, so what? What is wrong with having ownership of land?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you're dealing with educated bourgeois Negroes. But other black folks, many of us think that this is something new. Okay. Buy a block, brother. You know, a lot of us are talking about, those of us within the nationalist community are always talking about forming an independent nation that we can call our own. But like a brother told me, he said, brother, focus on buying. He said this, he wasn't directing this to me, but he was directing this to nationalists. He said, focus on buying a building first. Okay, buy a community center, buy an apartment building. Then you can start talking about nationhood. So we have to begin seeing ourselves as a nation, more as a collective. You know what I said? When people say that black people are not monolithic, I would say we're not monolithic all the time. We were monolithic. We were monolithic with Barack Obama. We were monolithic during the OJ trial. Right. We're monolithic now with these killings of black people. And we're certainly monolithic when it comes to voting because over 90% of us want to be Democrats.
And when it comes to line dancing.
When it comes to what?
Line dancing.
Yes, sir, brother. That too, right? Line dancing.
Line dancing, boy. You will forget about. I seen sisters that don't even like each other, but that line dancing song come on, and they'll forget about the hate.
Brother and spades.
And spades, that's right. That's right.
So anyway, what I'm saying, brother, what we have to do there right now, we have to focus on infrastructure within the African American community. I've said for quite some time that regardless of who is in office, the African American community should be so, there's a word that I'm thinking about, brother, solidified and secured that it shouldn't matter who's in the White House.
That's right. That's right.
It shouldn't matter who's in the White House.
I call it, we need to become Black Amish. Black Amish. The Amish it don't matter who the mayor, the governor, the senator, the president. They don't care because they got their own community. They got land. They work within the others. You know, they help build a barn with each other. They work hard. They own land. They go to school until the 8th grade. Now, are they most hygienical? No, because they working hard all day. And they got to get back up early in the morning and do it all over again. But my point is this. They ain't begging nobody for nothing. And they make the best furniture and cheese.
Yes, they do, brother. And some say the best steak. Some say the best steak too.
That and chicken. Amish chicken is
and the raw milk.
And the raw milk. And they have been known to be fair because they were the ones that helped us escape enslavement. So I'm saying
some of them, brother, who might be considered. Well, don't forget you have the Amish and you have the Mennonites.
Yes, right.
You have the Amish and the Mennonites here. But go ahead.
Yeah. So my point is this: we have to have that same communal culture because our culture been stepped on. Our culture is not our culture. It's a hybrid of nigger business and coonism with a lace of Christianity and Pan-Africanism, Islam. It's been morphed. It's twisted. But once we get a grip on it and come because we gonna have to unite. The way they doing us right now, we ain't gonna have no choice. We gonna be forced to, like it or not. And I always say, when they pull you over, they ain't ask if you was a Muslim, Republican, a Kappa, or a Q. They ain't ask if you was a Sagittarius or a Scorpio. They just know you black. And then that's all they need to know. All they need to know. So, brother, before I get you up out of here, because I want to thank you. I know it's late on the East Coast, and I want to thank you for coming on the show. What's your take on the election? what you think black folks need to do?
As I said earlier, black people should be mobilizing regardless. That's what, just to be clear, Brother Derek, that's what I meant to say several minutes ago. I've also said that. Black people should be mobilizing regardless, that it doesn't matter who's in the White House or who's in the Senate. What I'm looking at right now, I think that that Biden and Kamala are going to give Trump a run for his money. I'm not saying that they're going to win, but definitely, just to let you know, I'm definitely saying that the Democrats are going to take both houses of Congress. They only need 4 seats to take the Senate. They already have the House of Reps. They only need 4 seats to take the Senate. They're definitely going to take that. But right now, although the presidential race is up in the air for me, Biden and Kamala are going to give Trump a run for their money. And what confirmed that for me, of course, last week I watched the DNC convention, and this week I've been watching the RNC convention. I listened to Kamala's rebuttal. She gave a rebuttal this afternoon to President Trump, to his nomination speech, and she was bringing him the business. This ticket here, Biden, Harris, and I'm not a fan. I'm not saying I'm a fan. I'm speaking as a political commentator now. I'm not a pundit. I'm speaking as a political as a political analyst. Okay, I'm not a fan of Biden or Harris. Okay, that doesn't make me a conservative. And even if I am a conservative, so damn what? Stop kissing Democrats behind. Okay, just to be clear, my political allegiance is not to Republicans. It is not to Democrats. My political allegiance is to black people. Right. Just to be clear. Okay. So anyway, Biden and Harris, they're going to give this president a run for his money. This is actually a smart ticket. Okay, Biden made a wise choice with picking Harris. He made a wise choice. Speaking as a political commentator. Okay, this is a dynamic. He needed Harris.
Yeah, go ahead.
In my judgment, he needed Harris more than she needed him.
Ooh, wow.
Obviously, especially when you pick, actually, that's just about any presidential candidate. Any presidential candidate, you pick a vice president that people know if anything happens to you, this person will fall right in and do it. So that's usually the case for any presidential ticket, that the president is going to need the vice president. Presidential candidate is going to need the vice presidential candidate more than the other way around. Okay. So anyway, what black people need to be doing, okay, when I speak with people, or people that are quote considered young people, because people tried to say to me when I've criticized the Democrats, oh, why don't you, you're a black journalist, why don't you use your platform to tell people to vote? Well, I didn't say don't vote. I said stop giving the Democrats unconditional support, okay, without questioning them. So this is what I said. When I speak to so-called younger people, okay, at 43 years old, so-called younger people, I'm not telling young people to register to vote to be Democrats. I'm telling you, in black people, period, young black people, period, register to vote to get economic power so that you can control, you have say-so regardless of who's in the White House. We should be focusing on local politics, the school board, the city council, state, the mayor, county executive, the freeholders, okay, like that, the assembly, Congress. We should be, all politics are local. Solidify yourself politically, locally, and then you'll have a broader influence. But we should be mobilizing regardless.
So sister, Suzanne, he's not rooting for Biden or Harris or Trump. He just stated that, this is what he understood being a political journalist. Because she said, are you serious? All Biden revealed was how corrupt they both are. And we
but Derek, see, this is the thing, Derek, okay? See, this is the thing. See, I'm a writer and a journalist, and I know exactly what to say. And if there's anything I can't stand, when you could say the sky is blue, and people would still take from, now, I don't know when she tuned in, but I said from the beginning that I'm not a fan of Biden or Harris. I'm going to repeat for those of you who did hear me from the beginning, but insist on not hearing me. I said as a political analyst, political commentator, not as a pundit. If I'm a pundit, this is what you have to understand about media. When someone is a pundit, that means that they are commentating for a particular political party. That's when they say a Democratic strategist or a GOP strategist, liberal, conservative. I am neither. When you are a political commentator or a political analyst, that means you are analyzing both sides. You are analyzing both probabilities. It doesn't mean you are endorsing.
Right. Yeah, she said
that's
she
what I say.
now. And she said she understands. Okay. agree with you, yes, on the local political tip. So yes.
Yeah, but I'm not bigging up Harris. I'm not endorsing one of them. I'm just explaining to you. Yeah, so fine, we can call them corrupt, but from the standpoint of a political analyzer, or from Biden's predicament, Biden's standpoint, he made a wise choice. I didn't say that I'm a fan of Harris.
Right.
I said it's a dynamic ticket, and that's why I said they're going to give Trump a run for his money.
Understood. Well, you know what? A lot of my fans would love to hear that because they are really anti-Trump and they're for a change. And my position is this: whatever you want, I want it for you. I'm not getting caught up on who's president because none of them ever gave a damn about no black folks. So what I'm gonna plan for,
Yeah, and I'm talking.
is take care of myself and look to build a future here.
Well, brother,
whatever they got
that's
left.
the thing. But it's the thing, and I'm glad that Sister Suzette had mentioned, as she said, the corruption of Biden and Harris, because the problem that I'm having is that a lot of black people keep, remember what I said at the beginning of this segment. I said, I quoted Michael Leonard Dyson, Trump is the fulfillment of white supremacy. He's nothing new. He's the fulfillment of it. Why are black people acting like white supremacy didn't exist before Trump? Why are you flipping out? What he did was he just emboldened it. You just got too comfortable. When President Obama was in office, it put you to sleep, even though the killings of black people under him by white people increased, and even though there were polls done by the Pew Research Center, Monmouth University. There's another one that I'm trying to think of. There were two polls done, Monmouth University and Pew Research Center, that said that under Obama, white hostility towards black people increased.
Oh,
and despite that, you were still lulled to sleep. He's our first black president. He's the first black president. And I told black people when he got in office, I said, Obama is not Martin Luther King. He is not Malcolm. That's the reason why I took issue with Ta-Nehisi Coates when he said that Obama was the Malcolm X of the 21st century, and that when Obama was in the White House, we had black power. What do Ta-Nehisi, you know better. Your father's a Black Panther. You know better.
Right.
And a lot of us in black media were literally, we were gatekeepers. We protected Obama. We were trying to make Obama the racial messiah. Okay, but my point is, you saw what happened under him. He did not change it. He didn't change the racism in America. It got worse under him, and I'm not blaming him.
Right.
So so stop acting like Trump is an anomaly. No, he's not.
No, he's nothing new. He's no different than the rest of the 40-some-odd presidents.
And I wanted to say something too. That's what I have to say, brother, about Trump. When people say, well, the reason why Trump got in office is because black people stayed home and black men voted for Trump. No, the main reason why Trump got in office is because white people across ideological and political lines united and voted to get him in office because they were tired of seeing a black man in office.
That's right.
Had over 50% of white women voted for Trump. I covered the first women's march in DC in 2017, and there was a sister there that had a sign that said 52% of white women voted for Trump. They don't talk about that. All these feminists saying stuff about Minister Farrakhan and the misogyny and the racism and all this other stuff. You don't address that. Trump ran as a Republican candidate, and for the most part, Republicans, they don't support LGBTQ rights. Bro, you had gay and trans identifying white people who supported Trump, such as Milo Yiannopoulos, who was a part of a group called Gays for Trump. These are white gay identifying Americans that voted for Trump. You had people like Caitlyn, Caitlyn, transgender,
who used to voted,
voting for Trump. Okay, so you had white people, you had white Democrats voting for Trump. Okay, so let's be clear. No, white people united. Okay, they were like the white feminists. You know what they said? Oh no, we're gonna talk about women's rights next week. On election, I know we're gonna talk about that next week. Okay, we're gonna talk about abortion rights next week. No, tonight we're gonna vote this white man in office because we're tired of seeing these niggas in the White House. Even though we know President Obama, like I said, he didn't represent black power, but still on a subconscious, the image there, that is how he was perceived by many whites.
Black folks sitting there with them white sheep in that bed, eat popcorn. They didn't like that. Yeah, I understood.
That
the White House. Look, I want to thank you for coming to the show. Make sure you drop where they can follow you at on Instagram and any other you got going on.
Okay, well, family, you can follow me. My name on Instagram is my name, but Doshon Farad Media. I'm on Facebook, Doshon Farad, and of course, I'm always raising money for travel. Just to let you know, before I want to shout out the Movement Magazine, Foresight for Life, as well as Brother Jamal Jones of Experience Reality Magazine out of DC, but the Movement Magazine in New Jersey, Sister Audrey Egypt, I know as Egypt, and
Right.
we also have Foresight for Life. I'm the CEO of the Communications Department. I'm the Director of Communication for Foresight for Life out of DC. But anyway, you can follow me, Doshon Farad Media on Instagram, Doshon Farad on Facebook, but also I'm raising money. I have a Cash App. I have a quote regular job, but I still raise money for travel. So if you wanted to Cash App me, my name on Cash App is $DFARAD. My last name, D Farad. That's $D Farad. If you wanted to bless me with a donation.
Donate. Yeah, donate to my brother.
And also, hold on now, donate the Brother Derek Muhammad show. I keep telling people, support independent Black media.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Look, I want to thank you for coming on the show, Doshon Farad. We got to get you back in the future, man. You were amazing, brother, and thank you for sharing. And I wish you nothing but continued success in all your endeavors, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me, my friend.
All right, that was Doshon Farad. I want to thank everybody who just tuned in. Make sure you share, you hit like on this. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the Derek Muhammad Show, and if you have not picked up a copy of my book, Guerrilla Film Grind: How to Make a Movie for Little or Nothing, buy the book. Donate to the cause. We're trying to make some things happen. I appreciate you all, and until next time, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows, and be extra good to yourself.